My wife told me she was going to sell me and I thought she was joking. But on the actual day of the supposed sale, she really put me up online. The ad read, "This is my husband, a good-for-nothing, lazy freeloader with no income. If you're interested in owning a useless man with no backbone, feel free to make an offer. Services are at the buyer's discretion, $200 per day, or $50,000 for a lifetime deal. Whoever buys his future will have him exclusively, and I'll divorce him on the spot. Wishing you all the happiness in the world." She posted it as a joke to humiliate me, but she never expected someone, an actual wealthy woman, to take her up on it. "Zach, I'm selling you," said my wife, Charlotte Yates, with a smug grin as she handed me her phone to show me the post. My face darkened as I read the ad. When we got married, I already had my own thriving business. Charlotte had enjoyed the luxurious life I provided, including the custom-built house I constructed for her parents in their hometown, worth hundreds of thousands, and a $200,000 gift I gave her brother to buy a house and fund his wedding. But 3 years into our marriage, my tech company collapsed. Since then, I've been working from home, developing a video game, but to her, that made me nothing more than a lazy gamer who doesn't earn a dime. "This has gone too far? Mocking me like this? Really?" I said coldly. "When things were good, I never hesitated to give you and your family everything I could. And now that I've hit a rough patch, you throw this in my face? That's cruel. You've been stuck at home for 2 years doing nothing but playing video games. Am I wrong to call you useless?" she sneered. I clenched my fists, my frustration boiling over. "I'm working on developing a game. How many times do I have to tell you? Once it takes off, everything will change." "Stop kidding yourself, Zach. Things won't change. Look at you," she shot back, her words dripping with disdain. "How can you be so sure of that?" I challenged. "Just look in a mirror," she snapped. "You look like a hobo. The only difference between you and a beggar is your clothes. And yet, you talk about changing things?" I swallowed my anger, trying to stay calm. "My time is dedicated to developing the game, Charlotte. You know that." "Enough with your excuses," she said, grabbing her bag and heading for the door. "It's 8 at night. Where are you going?" I asked. "To work, obviously. How else do you think we're paying the rent?" she retorted coldly. "After my company collapsed, the bank repossessed our house. I'll pay the rent," I yelled after her. She didn't even bother responding, slamming the door behind her. I lit a cigarette, trying to calm my nerves. After a moment, I put on my delivery helmet, opened the delivery app on my phone, and waited for an order. Before long, I received a request for crawfish, and the customer even left a $50 tip with a note, asking me to peel the crawfish upon arrival. I picked up the order and made my way to the customer at a karaoke bar called Galactic Lounge. 30 minutes later, I stood outside room 808. Just as I was about to knock, I froze. Inside, I saw Charlotte. She was surrounded by a group of 7 or 8 people, laughing and singing. She was sitting right in the middle, next to her ex, Tyler Caldwell. They were singing a duet, True Love Only, looking every bit like a couple. "Didn't she say she was working late?" I thought bitterly. "I guess this is what working overtime looks like for her." My chest tightened, and anger flared through me. Before I could knock, a heavy-set woman opened the door and said, "Come on in." Charlotte was so absorbed in her singing that she didn't even notice me. "Just sit over there and peel the crawfish for me. Let me know when you're done," she said, pointing to a corner without even glancing my way. I settled in the back, turned away from them, and started peeling. Minutes later, the group decided to play a game called Spin the Truth. Charlotte lost and chose truth. "How often do you and your husband, you know?" asked Rebecca, the heavy-set woman smirking and prying into Charlotte's private life. "Ugh, don't make me puke. Forget weekly. Nothing's happened in over a year," Charlotte said with obvious disdain. "For real? Not even once in a year? Are you serious?" someone else asked in disbelief. "I swear. If I'm lying, may I get hit by a car?" Charlotte said, raising her hand mockingly. "Well, does your husband even work?" another person chimed in with a chuckle. "If he doesn't, it's not like I care," Charlotte replied dismissively. "Charlotte, that sounds miserable," someone sighed. "It's absolute hell. He has no idea how disgusting it is. He lazes around all day playing video games, living off me. Every minute I spend at home with that loser is pure torture," she said with scorn. "Oh, Charlotte, you deserve better," Tyler said, putting an arm around her in a comforting gesture. "If my mom hadn't been against us back then, I would have never married that loser just to spite her," Charlotte said, tears streaming down her face as she clung to Tyler. "Charlotte, I let you down. Don't cry. It hurts me even more to see you like this," Tyler said softly, wiping away her tears. "Come on. A few tears aren't enough. How about a kiss to make her feel really better?" someone else teased, egging them on. I glanced at them out of the corner of my eye, my fury boiling over. Tyler and Charlotte gazed into each other's eyes, and she bit her lip nervously before closing her eyes and leaning toward him. Without thinking, I threw the peeled crawfish down and stormed toward them. Before anyone could react, I shoved Tyler out of the way, causing the drink in his hand to spill all over him. "What the hell is wrong with you?" Charlotte snapped, her voice icy as she glared at me. "What's wrong with me?" I barked, my entire body trembling with rage. "You've got the nerve to ask that? After everything I just saw and heard? You're here acting like this, and I'm the one who's wrong?" Charlotte rolled her eyes and crossed her arms. "Oh, please! Where's the infidelity in this room, Zach? Point it out to me." I took a step closer, my voice low but seething. "You were about to kiss him, Charlotte. Don't even try to deny it." "And what if I was?" she challenged, her tone dripping with disdain. "Are you going to lose some imaginary pride over it? If I've turned shameless, whose fault do you think that is? You, Zach, living like a pathetic worm in a gutter, useless and revolting." Her words hit like a punch to the gut. My chest felt like it would explode from the sheer humiliation and anger building inside me. Rebecca, the heavyset woman, laughed, stepping forward with a mocking smile. "You know, Zach, if you can't make Charlotte happy, maybe you should be a gentleman and let her go. Ever think of that?" "Exactly. Know your place," another woman chimed in, smirking. "Charlotte was the queen of campus back in college, and look at her now. She's still gorgeous, but stuck with you, a lowly delivery guy. How much do you even make in a day?" I clenched my jaw as their cruel laughter filled the room. Every word felt like a knife, but I refused to let them see me break. I turned to Charlotte, my voice steady despite the storm inside me. "You think this is funny? That it's okay to belittle me in front of everyone like this? When we got married, I gave you and your family everything. I gave you my best, and now that I'm struggling, you treat me like garbage?" She smirked, her voice cold. "You are garbage, Zach. You've been nothing but dead weight since your company failed." I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. "You know what, Charlotte? Maybe you're right. Maybe I've been blind this whole time, but not about myself, about you." The room fell silent. Even her friends seemed taken aback by the shift in my tone. "You don't respect me, and you clearly never loved me. You only loved what I could give you. And now that I'm at my lowest, you think you can humiliate me without consequences." I looked around the room, letting my words sink in. "Well, I may be down, but I'm not out. And I'll be damned if I let you or anyone else define my worth." Charlotte scoffed. "Oh, please, spare me the dramatic speech. You're nothing without me, Zach." I locked eyes with her, my voice calm but firm. "We'll see about that.